as I talked to you yesterday, sometimes when you see the young players out there, it can be a fun thing because you go, hey, I got this player waiting. I got Kyrie, R.I.P. Luka,
the future.
I got Quentin Grimes, I got Derek Lively. I know they're going to be playing at some point, so cool, we could see Omax Prosper play extended minutes, Jaden Hardy play extended minutes. Even a Max Christie, you're going to be a starter and you're going to be like the main focus. Like, how would he handle this? It's fun to see that. I've always enjoyed that as a fan, kind of seeing some of the young guys who don't get minutes get big minutes. But right now for your Dallas Mavericks, these guys are playing not because they want to, but because they have to. Spencer Dinwiddie
choice
playing 25-plus minutes. Kyrie Irving playing 40-plus minutes. And tonight, if you missed it, the Mavericks only have 9 available players. Dante Exum, Omax Prosper, Spencer Dinwiddie, Kyler Kelly, Jaden Hardy, Brandon Williams, Kessler Edwards, Naji, and Max Christie. And at this time last year, the only guys that would have been getting minutes that were on this team last year would have been Dante Exum. That'd be the only guy.
Yeah.
Omax wasn't getting minutes like this last year around All-Star break. Spencer Dinwiddie wasn't even on the team. Kyler Kelly wasn't on the team. Dante Exum was the one guy. Brandon Williams wasn't getting minutes. Jaden Hardy may have got like 7.
I was going to say he wasn't getting minutes.
Kessler Edwards wasn't on the team. Naji Marshall wasn't on the team. Max Christie wasn't on the team. So you have a complete different team.
Totally different roster.
From last year around this time that was on the brinks of making it to the NBA Finals. Obviously, PJ's hurt right now. Kyrie resting. Clay resting / hurt. AD out for extended period of time. Lively, Gafford, and Powell also out for extended periods of time. So right now, this Dallas Mavericks team, I will say this. In lieu of the Luka trade and in lieu of all the injuries, I'm very proud of this team, how they've played, because they have not, outside of the first game when Luka was traded, that Cavs game where they got boat race, gave up 91 points at half, and that was really the next day. Outside of that, they've put up phenomenal efforts, even when they have been outmanned as far as injuries or just talent goes. So they got beat 144-101 by the Cavs. Then they lost that heartbreaker to the 76ers, but they played their heart out in that one. That was a Spencer Dinwiddie late game falling apart, Dante Exum. Then they beat the Celtics by 7.
Okay.
Then they beat the Rockets by 11. Then they lose to the Kings in overtime, which happened the other night. Then they beat the Warriors. And now they're down 4 to the Heat. So since Luka's been traded, they've lost 3. Lost to the Cavs, 76ers, and Rockets. That's 3 losses. And they've beaten the Celtics and the Warriors and looking for their 3rd win. So if they win tonight, they'll be 3-3 since Luka's been traded. And I think
not terrible.
With all the teams you had to play, I mean, the only bad team being the 76ers, and you lost to them by 2. I think they've done a phenomenal job of scraping it up.
And you should have been. And you should have beaten the. You should have beat the Sixers, and you should have beat the Kings.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you're 3-3, especially if you hold on and win tonight. Now, right now, they're down by 3 with 4 and some change left to go in the third quarter. Very low scoring game, by the way.
All their games have been low scoring.
They
Yesterday,
really have. Now, this is a different basketball team, that's for sure.
Defense wins championship.
Defense first.
Well, but I will say, to me, Max Christie has shown he's going to be a guy that's going to be big for you, hopefully for years to come. Hopefully. 21 years old.
He ain't going anywhere.
21 years old, seems to be that guy. What have you thought of Omax Prosper as an extended minutes? I thought Omax Prosper has blossomed and become a lot more confident. I think his biggest thing was confidence. So he has the skill sets to be a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
But it was just like he was passing up shots. And now we're seeing he's open.
Well, he's
letting it go.
Passive at times. I mean, and look, we saw it last night with Kessler Edwards, right? Yeah. I mean, we saw it in crunch time with him. We saw it a little bit with Omax last night. But again, that takes time, right? Like, these guys are playing, and these guys played like this probably in college. Yeah. But this is their first time getting, as you alluded to, I mean, these were into the bench guys at the beginning of the season. And now they're either starting and closing out game. I mean, Kessler Edwards closed out the game for you.
It's a couple times now.
Like Kessler Edwards went from being the
last player, two-way player, last guy on the bench,
to now he's starting and closing things out in crunch time, which is a player, that's what you want. That's why you play the game, ideally, right?
You're thinking, we're going another season, we're going to the finals, I probably will literally never touch the court unless we're up by 30 or down 30 in the fourth.
And you're closing out against the Warriors. And poo-stained Jimmy Butler.
Disgusting. Now, another play I want to flip to, Naji Marshall. Since Luka's been traded, these are his stats. 12 points in Cleveland when they got blown out. 19 points in Philly where they lost. 20 points in Boston where they won. 16 points in Houston where they lost. Or they won that game, excuse me.
I won that.
9 points against Sacramento where they lost. 10 points against Golden State and 5 tonight. So you want to know the last time that Naji Marshall, before he had it against Boston on the 6th, but if you're not counting that game, you want to know the last time he had 20 points? Just give me a guess.
For the Mavericks, the last time he had 20 points?
Not counting the game on the 6th versus Celtics where he had exactly 20. The last time Naji Marshall had 20 points.
I felt like he was in and out of the lineup and sick a lot during the month of January. So, you know what? Let's go with the Christmas Day game that Luka got Luka's last in a Mavericks uniform.
So Christmas Day, he had 4 points versus Minnesota.
Obviously, I wasn't right about that.
You want one more try? Or you want me to just tell you?
Let's go with one of the games against the Thunder that they won in January.
Okay, so a January game. Let me scroll up. I know it's not right. I just want to give exactly how many points he had. And you're saying against the Thunder?
Either one.
14 on the 17th versus the Thunder, and then out with illness for the second game.
Shocking.
The last time, not counting January 6th, that Naji Marshall had 20 points was November 27th.
Good God.
When he had 24 against the Knicks. That was actually his 4-game stretch of 20 points.
I was going to say, he had a nice little stretch there early on in the year.
He then scored 3 points against Utah, then was out for illness for a week, then scored 19, then was out, then scored 9, and then went on to score 4, 5, 12, 9, and then was out again for another week.
Jaden Hardy is a bucket, and Kessler Edwards with an absolute tremendous putback on the follow. I mean, I'll say this, and whether or not kid knew what he knew, he's coaching his ass off.
He's trying. I mean, he's got literally 9 players. Most of these guys are in the bench, two-way G League guys. Brandon Williams was in the fourth quarter with 10 seconds in last night. Kyler Kelly and Kessler Edwards are playing 20-plus minutes.
Brandon Williams is out there right now. Yeah. And Kessler Edwards. Talk about a revelation right now.
Look at that 3 right there. Now. We've got Jaden Hardy, Kessler Edwards, and Brandon
Williams dapping each other up, jumping into each other.
This is the new Mavs team.
Boy, I tell you what, I don't think anybody saw this coming. That's for dadgum sure.
And see, the thing is, the teams that are playing them, they're in a weird spot because if you win, okay, you beat a team that's got G League players and 9 players available. If you lose, like the Warriors did last night,
you just lost to a team that had G League players and had guys sitting on the bench. I mean, at the very least, the thing you can appreciate about this Mavericks team right now is I do think one of the unintended kind of collateral effects of this trade has been I was concerned that these guys were going to be kind of like shell-shocked, which obviously they were against Cleveland.
Yeah,
we
they
saw
were
that.
Against Cleveland for sure.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, it's almost like they, basically their basketball skill level was questioned at this point. Like, oh, well, this team about to fall off a cliff now that Luka's gone, and you've had guys who have really responded in kind and in a big way. I mean, everybody understands the gravity of the moment, and for Jason Kidd to be able to get, and dare I say, while we can hate Nico on one hand for the Luka trade, look, Kessler Edwards was all these other moves are all the result of Nico Harrison.
5 players in double digits for the Dallas Mavericks tonight. We told you Dante Exum's got 17. He's still got 17. Max Christie's got 12. Mr. Consistent himself. Spencer Dinwiddie with 11. Omax Prosper, who I just spoke about a second ago, 3 rebounds and already has 10 points. And then the guy you just mentioned, Kessler Edwards, has 13 points. So 5 different guys in double digits. It's going to need to be a collective effort for the Dallas Mavericks to win basketball games. You don't have a 30-point guy in Luka or Kyrie out there. So it's going to need to be a bunch of different guys stepping up, and I think they've responded well. I'm just excited to see who's going to come out of this bunch when AD is back, when Lively's back, when Gafford's back, when obviously Kyrie, Clay, and PJ are there, who's still getting minutes. So out of this group that's playing right here, there's 9 available players. We can pretty much everybody that's hurt will play in front of them. So AD, Gafford, and Lively. So that's all the big men right there. When they're available, they'll obviously supersede everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Kyrie, PJ, Clay, probably Caleb Martin too. So who do you think is falling out of the rotation out of these 9? Because you could almost say the rotation is literally everybody that's hurt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys, not counting Powell. 7 guys that are in the rotation are hurt right now. So what? 2 more spots left for a regular rotation? 9 guys, maybe 10 if you're really stretching it. So you can really only pick 2 to 3 guys that are currently active that'll be getting minutes come postseason, come late in the season.
And you see why these guys are into the bench guys when what you're watching is going on right now. Jaden Hardy's just out there. You'd think this was the LA Fitness Rec League the way he's out there chucking up shots.
What 2 guys are you picking? You got 7 guys that are injured that'll be back in the rotation.
So are we including Max in the rotation of people that are still going to be playing?
No. So there's
no way you're not playing Max Christie. I don't care.
So that's one of your guys. So that's 8 people in the rotation.
Oh, and Spencer.
And there's 9. So no Naji.
Oh shoot! I almost said something I wasn't supposed to.
We can throw Naji. That's 10.
Yeah, that's 10.
So Kessler's minutes for the most part go away.
Dinwiddie's going to go back to what you signed him for.
So
right?
Kessler pretty much goes back down. Brandon Williams goes back down. Jaden Hardy goes back down. Exum goes back down. Omax Prosper goes back down. And Kyler Kelly as far as end of the bench guys.
Dude, Jaden Hardy is just gunning right now.
Did he make it?
No. No.
Is he going to shoot it again?
My man has clanked 3 in a row. He's got good form, but that's about it. Because otherwise, my man is clanking to be clanking. But tell you what, he just keeps chucking them up. Think about it. You don't think about a guy like Jaden Hardy. Never seen a shot he didn't like.
No.
Never seen a shot he didn't like.